So this trend died about 4 years ago, but I'm doing it nonetheless. Basically, Hypixel recently added 8 new solo Bedwars maps, as you probably know, giving us a total of 43 maps in and out of rotation, excluding seasonal ones of course. And so I thought it might be interesting to see where they all stand in comparison to each other on a tier list. Now, these are my own opinions, they are based purely on what I think of the maps and are not, like, official or anything. And while I don't want to start an all-out war in the comments, please do feel free to kindly and thoughtfully share your own thoughts down below. Alright, so starting things off with F tier, we have Ashfire. Now Ashfire, I absolutely deplore Ashfire, it's awful. So it's slow iron, the rushes both ways are 64 blocks, and like it's not the most aesthetically pleasing map I have to say, and it's just like a bit of a mess overall really. Then we have Babylon, which is also absolutely massive rushes. It is fast iron at least, which kind of slightly saves it, but the rushes are ridiculously big. Then we have Lightstone. Now Lightstone, like the first rush is actually like alright, and then the diamond gens, I like the way you rush through mid via diamonds, but like the size of the map is ridiculous. Like if you're yellow, you're not going to diagonal bridge to aqua, you're going to bridge to diamonds, and then through diamonds to mid, and then from mid to aqua's diamonds, then to aqua, and that's going to take you like a minute to get there if you die, and it's ridiculous. Then we have Mirage, which is one of the more recently added maps, and I mean, I've only played it like twice, but it's absolutely enormous as well, and also it looks really unfinished. Like there are these massive sandstone walls with just nothing on them, and like it's just like, did these guys finish the map? There's also like some really small gaps at mid, and it's just unnecessary. Speaking of unnecessary gaps at mid, we have Pavilion. Pavilion, I absolutely hate Pavilion. If you watched my video on the new maps, then like you know this, because God, mid is massive and messy and full of holes. That doesn't start with an F, but good enough. And it, like the rushes are huge as well, and it can take you like over a minute to get from one side of the map to the other. And it's just stupid. Then finally in F tier, we have Steampunk. Steampunk is well known in the Bedwars community for being a dreadful map. It's slow iron, massive rushes, those weird pipes to mid, and mid is also huge, and it's just like, why? There is no need for it. Right, now moving on to E tier. There's one here that you probably expected to be an F tier, but actually it's Acropolis. Now Acropolis is I've kind of started liking it slightly, which is why it's in an E tier and not F tier. But like, I don't like the way that it's different to every other map. You see, Acropolis is rectangular. Every other map is circular or square or whatever. And like for some reason, Acropolis just feels the need to be the odd one out. But I kind of hate the fact that you can get 2 diamond gens at once. Like it means if you get the diamond gens, you can get really rich. But it means if someone else gets the diamond gens, then like they get really rich. And so, you know. Next we have Biohazard, which is pretty similar to Babylon, but the rushes are slightly less exaggerated, and mid is slightly easier to get to, which brings this map up to E tier rather than being an F tier, because like, ooh, it's on the verge of being F tier, I have to say. Then we have Playground, which, big rushes and slow iron, but like, diamonds are connected to mid, which sometimes I like, sometimes I hate, but in this instance, I do kind of like it, I think. And, I mean, it's kind of an F tier map, but like, what's saving it from being F tier is like, nostalgia, because like, it's one of the oldest maps in Bedwars. Next, we have Siege. Now, Siege is, massive rushes again. It's pretty similar to Biohazard, like, in shape and gameplay, really. Like, yeah, massive rushes, but fast iron, and mid is decently easy to get to, which, yeah, that saves it from being F tier. Moving on to D tier, we have Amazon. Now, Amazon is like a decent kind of map. You can rush through mid pretty easily, and I quite like the mid. Like, it's a bit big for my liking, and like, it's slow iron, which I don't like, but then again, it for some reason, it kind of works. So then we have Krogorm. Now, Krogorm, historically, I would have probably put it in E or F tier, because like I really hated it. But like for some reason, I constantly get like sub 5-minute games on Krogorm. I don't know why, but it's like it's really easy to just go around the map and wipe everyone out because none of the sweats play it. That's the one good thing about it. But like if you lose your bed, good luck getting to mid. It's like a stack of blocks to get there, and like it's fast iron, so you're gonna get fireballed, you know. Then we have Rooted. Rooted, I don't really play. I mean, it has been out of rotation for like several months until April. It's a kind of interesting map. It's decently short rushes, but like kind of long. Diamonds are slightly too connected to mid, I think. Like, yeah, you know, Playground kind of had that balance there, but Krogorm really doesn't. Then Scorched Sands, another new map to be added recently. Yeah, okay. It's a decent map. That's why it's in D tier. It's not my favorite map ever, but like the rushes are a decent length and it's fast side. But the one thing putting this in D tier and not C tier are the 4-block wide doors on a 3-block center map. Anyway, next we have Toro, which is, yeah, it's a decent map. It's actually a 32 rush, but like it's fast iron, so like if you 32 rush from a fast iron map, there's something wrong with you. And you can get to other people decently easy through mid, but the diamonds are like slightly too out of the way, I think. Speaking of diamonds being out of the way, we have Zazel. The diamonds are just ridiculously far away, but Zazel, it's like both rushes are 48-ish blocks, and so yeah, it's a decent map, and mid is pretty nice as well. Actually, it's just something about the mid. I actually like it. Right, moving on to C tier, we have Cascade. Now Cascade, like a decent map. The rushes are a decent length, and mid is nice and flat and open. You can kind of go around and collect like 4 diamond gems, but like if you do that, then you're going to lose your bed, because like mid is big enough to deter you from doing that, which is like got that perfect balance, I think. Then Cliffside. Cliffside is actually based on Bogano, which is a planet in Jedi Fallen Order, so like, you know, it gets points for that, I have to say. But it's like a decently sized map, really. Right, next, Dockyard. Dockyard it's like a really interesting map, because you have that ring going all the way around mid, and then mid in the center. It's like a weird map, but for some reason I actually like it. Like, I don't normally like weird maps, like Acropolis. Then we have Lotus. Lotus, I can't actually remember. I think it's slow or like medium iron. It's like it's a decent map. Rushes are decently short. You can rush, like it can play decently fast. Right, next we have not Apollo, Orbit. Kind of similar name-ish, not really. Orbit is actually a 32 rush, but like, again, it's fast iron, you might as well go with 64. It's like the twin brother or sister or twin sibling, let's go with that, of Siege. Like, they were both added at the same time, but the one thing differentiating them is that Orbit is actually a decent size. Siege most certainly is not. Right, moving on to B tier. Finally, we get some good maps. So, first of all, we have Akil. It's really, really quick and rushy. Like, you know, they label their map, some maps as quick and rushy and some as long and tactical. Akil is really quick and rushy. You can get rushed from so many different directions because people just take out their first rushes in like, bang. Like, oh, that was a good click. I'm never going to replicate that again. Then we've got Crypt, which is, I mean, historically I might have put it in A tier, but now there are so many A and S tier maps that, you know, I had to move it down. Well, I didn't have to, but like I did. So it's slow iron, which I don't like, but it's a 32 rush, which, you know, I do like a 32 rush from time to time. It's like the diamonds are slightly out of the way, and it's like a slightly over a stack rush through diamonds if you do want to like go up even the slightest bit. Then Dragonstar. Dragonstar is quite similar to Crypt, actually. It's slow iron and a 32 rush, but I recommend 48 because like it's 32 blocks without going up at all, which like leaves you really open to being counter rushed if you die. And so yeah, mid going over the diamonds, it's interesting. I'm not sure if I like it or not, really. It's kind of you know. Then we have Glacier. Glacier is a kind of it's a pretty generic kind of Bedwars map, really. It's slow iron and like your classic structure. You've got mid and then diamond gens like between the team islands, and yeah, it's a alright map, I suppose. You can actually diagonal rush on it in a decent amount of time, which is quite nice because not many maps have that these days. Then you have Serenity. Serenity is it's like a decently nice map. The rushes are slightly too big for my liking, but it's fast iron and you can rush through diamonds, which, you know, that's nice. Then Waterfall, like with Dragonstar, you have the mid hanging over the diamonds and also kind of over the bases, which it can make rushing or getting rushed quite easy. But like the rushes are decently short and you can diagonal rush, and mid is like quite nice because you can just like run around it and around it without anyone ever catching you. So that's useful if you're a final. Right, moving on to A tier, we have Airshow. Airshow, it's a really nice map. Like, you know, it is a 64 rush or a 48 rush if you don't put down a bed defense, but like, bleh. And you rush through diamonds, which is really nice, but it's slow iron, and slow iron is like, ooh. But Airshow does make it work, just about. Then we have not Apollo. Jesus, there's something on my mind. Okay, Hollow, not Apollo, Hollow, which is, I mean, it used to be slow iron, but then they made it fast iron, which I don't know why they made it fast iron, but like, it brings it up in my books, because like, I do like fast iron maps. You know, what stops it from being S tier is that it's just a bit bland, you know? Like, mid is flat and boring, and there's just, yeah. Then we have Meso, which is kind of like a bigger version of Lighthouse, which I haven't covered yet, but like, you know, it is. It's a pretty decent map. I'm glad they renamed it to Meso, because it used to be called Inca, which was completely historically and culturally inaccurate. But like, you know, that's just a Hypixel build team thing to do. It's fast iron, decent rush length, you can go to diamonds pretty easily and get to mid pretty easily, and it's pretty nice. And Orchestra, some people think it's like slightly too small, and I think it is. I mean, the rushes, I like the fact that it's a 32 rush, because like, you know, it's slow iron. 32 rush works with slow iron, but like, then after that is slightly too big. I mean, all the rushes are 32, like you can 32 rush through diamonds, but it's really easy when you're on the other side of the map to just have your bed go, because you won't be able to see anything on the other side of the map. Next we have Rooftop. Rooftop is kind of like Airshow, but like slightly, I think it's medium iron. When they first introduced this map, I thought it was like a really interesting concept. Like, you know, that was 4.5 years ago, I think. God, I'm old, but like, I don't really like all the height variation that comes as a result of the buildings. Then we have Skyrise, which is like Rooftop, but slightly flatter. And I mean, it basically is the same map, just like with some slightly lesser height variation. Next we have Solace, which is like, kind of like Lighthouse used to be, but now isn't. It's 32 rush, it's slow iron. Slow iron I don't like, but like, again, 32 rush, that's nice. Mid is a bit out of the way, and I don't like the way the diamonds are incredibly high, because it makes getting rushed through diamonds really easy. Like, if someone's quick to take out their first rush, they can just, noom, bang, there goes your bed. We rush through diamonds, we have the high ground, bang, you're dead, you know? And finally in A tier, we have Speedway. Speedway is, again, kind of like Airshow. There are a lot of maps like Airshow, I have to say. But, like, slightly flatter and, like, a bit more open, except for the mid. The central part of mid is just like, what is going on there? Right, finally, the good maps. S tier, starting things off with Apollo. Finally, Apollo is like, it's like the perfect map. It is probably my favorite map. It's like Airshow, but fast iron and like slightly shorter. I like where the diamonds are. Like, they're slightly lower than the team islands, but like not too low, like on Babylon. Ooh. Then we have Blossom. Blossom is like a really underrated map, I think. Decent rush lengths, fast iron, get to mid really easily. Nice and open, and yeah. Then we have Gateway. If you're a long time fan of my channel, which you're probably not, but if you are, then you might know I really used to like Gateway. Like, it's a good map. It's fast iron, decent length rushes, can get to mid decently easily. It's kind of like Blossom really, except for the goddamn tree. Gateway is very nearly an A tier just because of the tree, which stops you from going up more than like 5 blocks on your first rush. Anyway. Next we have Lighthouse, which used to be slow iron, but is now fast iron, and like, it's a 32 rush, so like, I quite like that. It's really fast games, every game, but like, it's decently easy to clutch on as well. I like the Lighthouse, because like, you know, you've got the pools of water at the bottom that you can jump into. It's interesting. Next we have Lucky Rush, which is a very recent map. It's kind of like Orchestra, but like superior in every single way. Because like, the rushes are slightly longer than the 32 blocks, but it's fast iron. The diamonds are slightly out of the way, which I don't really like, but you can get to other people so easily through mid, and mid is like nice and small. Then we have Pernicious. Pernicious is kind of like Apollo again, I guess. I mean, Pernicious has been through so many different like reskin. Well, it's been through one different reskin, but it's finally ended up in like a really good place. It's fast iron. People finally know which way to rush, even if it is the wrong way. Because like, historically people rushed like straight, but now people rush through diamonds, and like, I guess that's all right. Next we have Polygon. Polygon is like a nice short rush and fast iron, My only quarrels are that mid is absolutely massive for some reason. Like, it's ridiculously big. You can run forever and ever, amen, and it's just like, why? And also there are 2 exits from the spawn room thing. It's the only map with 2 front exits. Like, there are maps with back exits as well, but like 2 front exits. Like, why? Finally, but not last, but least, no, but not let's just go with finally. We have U. U is like, yeah, brilliant map. Nearly as good as Apollo. It's really short rush, fast iron, get through diamonds really easily. Mid's nice. I like the height variation at mid. It's one of the few maps where I do like the height variation. And it's like really interesting. It's just nice to play. So here is the final tier list if you're interested. And as I said in the intro, these are my own opinions. So like if I put your favourite map in E tier or something, I'm very sorry. Please do feel free to comment your own thoughts down below. But with that, thanks for watching everyone. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. And if you love it even more than that, make sure to subscribe. But yeah, I think that's about everything. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. That was a weird one. I'm so sorry.